Underperforming phrases in the American lexicon? What's it mean? We break all kinds of news on Fox 40 News at 11. Here's a little bit more for you. California is starting a new community-based solutions unit through GoBiz. That's the governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. The program and its team lead giving us the exclusive, making their debut right here with me, Derek Kirk. Welcome to Fox 40 News at 11.
Thanks so much for having me.
Definitely. First, lots of folks are going to hear the name of this new unit, the Community-Based Solutions Unit, and think that sounds really broad, really vague, and maybe even that it sounds like bureaucrats acting like they're doing something when they're not really doing anything. So let's get really specific. What's an example of how you hope this unit can help make a difference in the lives of some of the folks listening right now?
Yeah, that's a really great point. And I just want to emphasize that we were really intentional in calling it community-based solutions, not because of its vagueness, but because the reality that we have such an intention to support the work that our community partners are doing and to lift up their voices. And so as we consider the massive amount of investments that the state is able to make right now, and we consider opportunities for that investment in economic development, one of the things that our team will be doing as an example is ensuring that the communities have the capacity and the knowledge and the data and the wherewithal to put forth applications and request this money based on the specific needs that they have, rather than what we here in Sacramento or at any level of government think that they should have. And so it's really ensuring that our community groups and our community voices have the capacity and the resources that they need to tell us what types of investment should be made in their local communities.
Okay, so let me throw something out there. This could be like a community that may need a new community center, something for the kids in a particular area. Maybe what they have is really dilapidated and they don't realize that there's a state pot of money, a grant program that could fund that. And so this unit would connect those. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. We are dedicated to connecting the resources that communities should and can have access to. And to your point, for example, we're dealing with or engaging with a community in the Central Valley right now that recently lost their library. And they need a few $1 million more to fund the development of the redevelopment of their library. And our team is working diligently to help them access funds to bring that community resource back to their city.
Alrighty, in that respect, always great to have more hands in it that can look for all the places where you might be able to get money from for something like this. Now, your unit is a pilot project that's supposed to run for 2 years. How is all this good work we just talked about going to be funded? Is this coming out of the state budget, or where's the cash coming from?
Yeah, thanks for asking the question. We're really grateful to our friends at the U.S. Economic Development Administration who awarded the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development both a competitive grant that was funded through the CARES Act in the early days of the pandemic, as well as a block grant that was funded through the American Rescue Plan Act. We're using federal dollars to pilot an initiative and figure out if this makes sense for our community partners, using federal investment to add capacity and draw as much both state and federal resources into the community as we possibly can. Again, using the plethora of dollars that the federal government has allocated in recent years.
Alrighty, now you've divided up the state into 13 zones with regional economic recovery coordinators living and working in each of those areas. Why 13? And what exactly will the coordinators be coordinating?
Yeah, we're really excited about having the coordinators living and working in each of the territory. We've got about half of the team on board so far. They're going to be able to look community partners in the eye and say, I live in this space too, and working diligently to pull resources down into the community based on the community's needs and based on the priorities that the communities have set for themselves. And so we're still hiring about half of the team. Those that have been onboarded so far are working diligently to build out a more robust stakeholder network and learn more specifically about the types of projects that we can support with.
All right, and before we let you go, the pandemic put a desperate face on what we knew, but maybe we're choosing not to look at, that millions of California students didn't have access to reliable broadband when they needed to take their classes remotely. As part of this new unit that you're leading, there's a broadband action plan that's building on the governor's Broadband for All strategy. Please explain.
Yeah, so GoBiz was identified specifically in the Broadband Action Plan that is supported by the California Department of Technology and a whole host of other agencies. And so in conjunction with that, we'll have both the Broadband Action Plan specialist and a permit specialist that will support communities in navigating, again, how to access resources and collectively work together, and how to navigate the permit process and how to collectively ensure that we're deploying broadband as rapidly and as effectively as we can across the state.
And you mentioned that you've got about half of the team on board. If somebody wants to apply to be part of all of this, they just go to the GoBiz sites, or?
Yeah, you can visit the GoBiz jobs page, or you can visit CalCareers to learn more specifically about the coordinator positions. We've got 2 positions, I think, left in Northern, Central, and Southern California that we're really looking to hire for. And I would just add, the prerequisite for this position is a deep passion and commitment to supporting your community. We're really diligently finding those people that they wake up every morning looking to support their communities and do what they can to help their neighbors.
All righty, Derek Kirk, thank you so much for this exclusive look at your new unit. We will be checking back in to see how those solutions are panning out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.